As I said in the beginning, children, it was not just Mendel who worked on this genetics, genes and all these things. After Mendel, many people, they worked on this genetics and they came up with many new discoveries in this, right? So we will be learning about the non-Mendelian inheritance, right? So inheritance which was not explained by Mendelian were explained by many other people. Okay, so in that today we will be learning about incomplete dominance and codominance. Okay, you can see incomplete dominance and the codominance. So first let us start with the incomplete dominance. So this is where your part after in your textbook, the part after the law of segregation is starting. So it is incomplete dominance, right? So when experiments on P were repeated using other traits in other plants, right? So Mendel chose pea plants and other people, they chose other plants and they carried out this experiment, right? So they repeated the experiment on other traits in other plants, and it was found that sometimes the F1 had a phenotype that did not resemble either of the two parents and was in between the two. Okay, so in Mendel's monohybrid cross, we did not see any of the characters which were halfway. Okay, tallum shortum kudi charnittu, they never produced this halfway plants like medium sized plant. But when other scientists, when they carried out the same Mendelian technique in other plants, pea plants allanda vera plants, they tried it, and they found out that sometimes in F1 generation they had got a phenotype that did not resemble any of the two parent, and it was in between the two. One parent, suppose if they have taken a flower which has red color and white color, in the F1 generation, what did Mendel say? He told that it will give rise to only the trait of any one of the parent, right? So either it will be red or white, it depends upon the dominancy. But here in some cases, when they did it on other plants, they found out that they were getting a color which was in between the two. So they did not, in the first generation, they did not get red color or the white color. Instead, they got a new one. Okay, so a color in between red and white was the result of the F1 generation. Okay, and this was carried out in a flower which is called as the snapdragon or dog flower or Pterinum species. So this is the snapdragon or the dog flower. Commonly it is called as dog flower, and its botanical name is Antirrhinum species. And along with that, experiments were carried out in Mirabilis jalapa. Okay, so this is the 4 o'clock plant. It is a common name of this plant, Mirabilis jalapa. Okay, so what happened was, here when they carried out the Mendelian same experiment with this snapdragon and the Mirabilis jalapa, they were able to get a flower color which was different from both the parents, right? So here, cross between the homozygous red and white produced pink colored flowers. Okay, so it is the inheritance in which the offspring show intermediate character. What is it? It is the incomplete dominance, right? So in this, the offsprings will show intermediate character between two parental characteristic. Okay, and we saw the example of flower where this experiment was carried out, and after the cross, that is after carrying out cross pollination between a homozygous red flower and white flower, it produced pink colored flowers. Okay, so here cross between the homozygous red and white produces pink flowered plants, right? So it was not both, this pink color was not found in any of the parent, but see, an intermediate character has been formed. Okay, now let us see how we can work out this cross between red and the white flower using Mendel's monohybrid cross. Okay, we will just do it with the help of the Punnett square, and then it will be clear for you. So I'm going to take the red colored flowers as capital R and capital R. So these are the parent generation. So P is parental generation. I'm writing as P, which is the parental generation. So they have taken the red colored flower and they have crossed it with the white colored flowers which had the alleles small r, small r. Okay, so I'm taking the white colored flowers as small r, small r. And now the possible gametes from this parental generation will be, or the parent will be capital R, or it should be capital R. Either gamete eduthalum it will have only capital R. It is because it is homozygous. And if you take this case, you will see that it will have either small r or the other small r, right? So these are the possible gametes. And if we are going to do the Punnett square, what I have to do? I have to write the parental generations in the top row and also in the left column. So I'm writing here as capital R and capital R, and here it is small r, small r. Okay, and if we cross multiply it, capital R combines with small r to form capital R, small r, and again same thing here, and same thing happens in this also. These are the possible genotypes of the F1 generation course, right? So these are the results of the F1 generation. So how was the F1 generation? It was having a genotype which has capital R and small r. So in Mendel's experiment, we saw that in the law of dominance, we saw that the parental generation will show, that means in the F1 generation, any one of the parent will be dominant. Any one of the parent characteristic will be dominant. That is what Mendel told. But see here, though the genotype is capital R, small r, the result which they got was, it were all pink colored flowers. Okay, capital R, small r, it gave rise to pink colored flowers. Okay, so from this we understand that changes have happened in this Mendel's law of dominance, right? And why does the same changes occur? It is because these are things which happen in nature, right? So we are not controlling it. So due to evolution and many other processes, changes keep happening inside the living organism, and we are just studying it, right? So that is why after Mendel studied about this, after many years, people came up with other findings. Okay, so here they have found out that it has capital R and small r in the F1 generation, and it coded for the pink color which were not present in both of the parents. Now what did the scientist do? Now he again self-pollinated it. Mendel also did the same thing, right? So with the F1 generation, he self-pollinated it, right? So self-pollination means this capital R, small r was again self-pollinated with capital R, small r. Okay, and let us see how the Punnett square will be. So what are the possible gametes from here, children? The possible gametes will be capital R and the small r, right? So from both parents, they will have capital R and small r. Okay, and here also it should be, the other parent should be capital R and small r, because self-pollination is happening. And now the result will be capital R, then capital R, small r, and this R, it has to be crossed with this one. It forms this R has to be crossed with this one and this one. So it is capital R, small r, and here the last one will be small r, small r. Okay, so here what have we got? We have got capital R, and we have got capital R, small r, and then small r, right? So we know that these are the parental traits. Which are the parental traits? This capital R, and small r are the parental traits which we have taken. So that has now got expressed in the F2 generation. So in self-pollination, they got the same result as the Mendel. Okay, but only change was, instead of that parental characteristic, a new characteristic or a medium, the combination of characteristic was found in the F2 generation also. So about 1/4 of them were red in color. So these were red flowers. I'll just write it. So these are red flowers, and the smaller it will code for the white flower. Okay, and then the capital R small r, it codes for the pink color, right? So it is not red, it is pink color. Okay. So in Mendel's monohybrid cross, we got a phenotypic ratio of 3:1. I hope you remember it, right? So about 75% of the plants were tall, so he got a ratio of 3:1. But here the phenotypic ratio alone got changed, but the genotypic ratio was same. So in Mendel's experiment, in the first monohybrid cross, we saw that Mendel got a ratio of 1:2:1. Right? So same thing happened here. Genotype ratio was same, but the phenotype ratio changed. It was not 3:1. It was again 1:2:1. It is same as the genotypic ratio because one was red, that is 25% of them are red, 50% of them are pink, and other 25% it is white in color. Right? So the phenotypic ratio has changed from the monohybrid cross of Mendel, and the genotypic ratio is same because there is only one capital R, so it is 1, and they got two capital R small r, so it is 2 here, and it should be 2. Okay, I just write as 2 here to understand. Okay, and then comes the 1 which is for the small r. Right? So this is how the incomplete dominance was proved. So from this we got a phenotypic ratio of 1:2:1, and genotypic ratio is also 1:2:1. Okay, so the genotype ratio were exactly as what we would have expected in any Mendelian monohybrid cross, but the phenotypic ratio has changed from 3:1, that is dominant to recessive ratio has changed. Now what happened was the capital R was not completely dominant over small r. Okay, and this made it possible to distinguish capital R small r as pink. See, dominant trait in the it has to suppress everything and it has to get expressed, right? But here we are able to find, though there is gene which codes for the capital, that is capital R, which is the red color, which is the dominant trait, it is not completely dominant. Okay, we are seeing that the capital R was not completely dominant over the small r, and that is the reason why it is possible to form capital R small r which forms the pink. That's completely dominant angle, it should give rise to only red colored flowers, but we get pink colored flowers from capital R small r, which means that they are not completely dominant as such we saw in the monohybrid cross of Mendel. Okay, so they are incomplete dominant. Okay, incomplete dominant എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ complete ആയിട്ട് അവർക്ക് dominate ചെയ്ത് നിൽക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല, but they are dominant character. Okay, because they have got expressed in the F2 generation also. Okay, so they are dominant trait, but they are not completely dominant. They are incomplete dominant trait. Okay, so this is about the incomplete dominance. Clear with the children? Clear with incomplete dominance, children? Okay, now let us move on to the next part, which is the codominance. Before that, let us just go through that this part. I'll just say what is given here. So we can see the F1, that is the parental generation, that is P generation. Red is taken, which has the genotype capital R, and white is taken, which has the genotype small r. So the gametes which they produce is capital R and small r, and these have combined to form capital R small r, but the color formed was pink, which was not found in the parental generation. Okay, so this is the F1 generation. Again, this F1 generation is self-pollinated, and we are able to find that the red colored flowers were formed, pink colored flowers were formed, and the white colored flowers were formed in the F2 generation by self-pollination. Okay, and thus the phenotype ratio is 1:2:1, that is 1 red, 2 pink, and 1 white. Phenotype means physical appearance, and genotype ratio is 1:2:1 because there is one capital R, 2 capital R small r and 1 small r small r. So thus the phenotypic and genotypic ratios are same, which means that R is not completely dominant over the small r, right? So pea plants also show incomplete dominance in other traits, not in the height but in other traits they also showed incomplete dominance. Okay.